Hello and welcome to Drive Seat and to the all-new Suzuki Swift, a 5-door Super Mini. Now, as always with Suzuki, they've kept the range pretty simple. So there's two petrol engines to choose from, an entry-level 1.2 and a 1-litre booster jet. Both engines come with a 5-speed manual gearbox as standard, whilst there's a 6-speed auto available as an option. There are 3 trim levels to choose from: SZ3, SZT and SZ5. Not done there, you can also go for an all-grip all-wheel drive system or a mild hybrid. Prices start from £10,999 and this remains instantly recognisable as a Swift. However, some of those sharper edges have been replaced for curves. It's actually quite bubbly. Now, all models come pretty well equipped. You get air conditioning, DAB radio and Bluetooth. This model's the 1.2 litre with the hybrid and all-wheel drive system in range-topping SZ5 trim, so it comes in at around £15,500. However, it gets forward detection technology, satellite navigation, automatic air conditioning and keyless stop-start. In here it's pretty neat and tidy, dominated by the central infotainment screen, which is a new version of Suzuki's own system. You've then got these 3 nice roundels for the automatic air conditioning and some USB ports down the bottom. Across the top, a few more round air vents, and then this nice white dash trim. Everything's pretty firm plastics, but it feels really quite solid. A little bit flexible down there, but generally not too bad at all. The instrument cluster's really neat and tidy and very stylish too. Attractive cowls poking out at you, some nice orange lighting and some graphite detailing. It's very pleasant indeed. The steering wheel's small flat bottoms and nice to grip, with controls on there for stereo and cruise control. Getting comfortable in here, there's a pump lever down the side and then a second lever for my backrest, but I have to move that a little bit more manually than I'd want to get the right angle. The steering wheel adjusts pretty well for reach and tilt, so most should be able to find a comfortable seating and steering wheel combination. In the lowest position here, I've got acres of headroom, so again, this will take tall drivers quite comfortably indeed. In the door is a decent sized door bin and a bottle holder. Ahead of the gear lever is a tray and 2 more cup holders, and then there's a 3rd cup holder between the seats. The glove box is actually very well sized to take your knickknacks. The gear lever is well positioned quite close to you, so you don't have to reach too far forward. There's no central armrest, so that will detract a little bit from the comfort value. Let's have a look in the back. To get into the back, you've got to locate these secret hidden door handles. Now, helping with practicality is the 5-door configuration of this Super Mini. Getting in here, the door's not too bad, so I can squeeze in quite happily. Adjust my headrest to find a comfortable position. I've got a little bit of knee room left, very good foot room, and decent leg room. It's also got a small transmission tunnel, so you should be able to squeeze 3 in here all right. Headroom's again okay, so I'm 5'9". You could probably be a little bit taller and be comfortable, especially for shorter journeys. In the door is just enough space for 1 bottle. These seats fold down 60-40, but really there's nothing much else to talk about in here. The boot has grown by 25% and now has 265 litres of capacity. There's quite a high lip to get over, so the boot goes quite deep, so loading heavier things is made that little bit more problematic. The floor, however, is flat, pushed to the sides as far as possible. There's a bag hook, and under the floor, a tyre inflator kit. Suzuki claims the Swift is an emotional Super Mini, so let's get it on the road, see what it's like to drive, and find out if we're left feeling happy or sad. The new Swift is 120 grams lighter than before thanks to a new mix of construction materials. It's 1 centimetre shorter than before, yet 4 centimetres wider. It's also a centimetre lower and has a extended wheelbase by 2 centimetres. So generally it's pretty much the same, but will look more squat on the road. The 1.2 litre SHVS hybrid in this generates 89 brake horsepower and 89 pound-feet of torque. That's enough to get it to 60 miles an hour in quite a slow 12.6 seconds. However, it's said to return 62.7 miles per gallon and emits 101 grams per kilometre of CO2. On our test route so far, I've averaged around 47 miles per gallon, and that's through the Peak District in Derbyshire, which is very undulating, very curvy, so a lot of braking and a lot of acceleration. I'd expect you to get well into the 50s on less demanding roads quite easily. Performance-wise, you have to work the engine really very hard. The higher the revs, the better it goes, so get it really above 4,000 or so, and this thing performs at its best. That does mean as you're coming out of slower areas and moving through traffic, you need to be in lower gears to make sure you're in that higher rev range. Otherwise it can bog down a little and will take a little bit longer than you'd wish for it to regain its speed. It's got a lovely little gearbox, 5-speed, short throw to it, and it's just light. You can flick it through with your fingers with very little effort. The clutch is also light, as is the steering, so it's a very, very easy car just to jump in and drive. It's got a small turning circle, so around town it's an absolute delight. There's also great visibility around here. You've got this big glass area, these small pillars to the front and side. However, the rear pillars are a little bit thicker, but this model comes with a rear view camera which helps that out, and most models have got rear parking sensors. The steering's got a really light feel to it, which again around town makes this really highly manoeuvrable. Out on the open road though, I'd prefer a little bit more weighting myself, but it's really accurate and it means you can actually push on with this. There's a huge amount of grip with the all-wheel drive system, and whilst the handling has a hint of body roll going into the corner, it then stays pretty flat and level through the rest of the bend. Generally it's got a comfortable ride. It deals with the smaller undulations perfectly, really smooths out the road. It does have its limitations on the bigger bumps, so some of those can crash through a little bit, but it's nowhere near as firm as something like a Yaris. The crash avoidance system works well. I was nowhere near hitting that vehicle, but it certainly alerted me that I was still moving whilst it had stopped ahead. Generally the engine's pretty quiet, although there is quite a bit of road noise and some suspension noise that comes through. Disappointingly, I've had a rattle up here for the whole journey, which is very irritating. So Suzuki claim the Swift is the emotional Super Mini. So what are my emotions after testing it? Well, I've got to say my emotion is it's cheap and cheerful. Cheerful because it puts a massive smile on your face with that grip and handling ability through some twisty lanes. Cheap because, well, it is cheap, £10,999 in the base trim, and also cheap because it does feel a little bit cheap inside with some hard plastics and the odd rattle. Check out the website for the full review on the Swift. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for free and let us know in the comment section below what you think of the all-new Super Mini.